Great. Well, thank you very much for having me at this wonderful symposium. My name's Dave Harris. I'm the Executive Director with Taekwondo Canada, and I'm happy to present today what I'd like to call Rule Changes in Action, how Taekwondo Canada is leading the way. A quick overview for you on concussions in Taekwondo. As you know, a concussion is a brain injury that cannot be seen on a routine X-ray, CT scan, or MRI. Concussions may affect cognitive abilities and memory functions along with various other symptoms. The incidence of concussion among sparring Taekwondo participants is estimated to be 4 times higher than that of football. Points scored for head kicks are more than for body blows in this sport. Concussions are frequent in Taekwondo, even though athletes wear head and mouth guards. Regardless of this, the danger remains frequent and high. In a 2017 study, the incidence of concussions was 13.8 for 1,000 athlete exposures or fights for men and 12.1 to 1,000 athlete exposures for women. So changes at the national level. Based on the information received, the incidence of concussion amongst Taekwondo athletes in Canada remains high. As always, a major stumbling block remains the lack of willingness to report, and that would be coaches and parents and athletes, for fear of being unable to compete. Something needed to be done within our sport to address this. As well, the sport governing bodies above us still have not addressed the issue of concussion in Taekwondo to our satisfaction. Referees are still not instructed to stop the fight should they suspect a head injury, and video review is now only for scoring of head kicks, which means basically video review is used to see whether or not an athlete has scored through a head kick on an opposing athlete. National referees have been instructed on the warning signs of concussions by Taekwondo Canada. We've ordered them now to stop fights when, in their minds, a potential concussion has been suffered. Oddly enough, this does not happen anywhere else in the world. We are now lobbying to have this happen worldwide, as we believe we are now the industry leaders in concussion prevention. How are we educating our athletes and others? It was a concern for a lack of proper structure which began the process in 2021 of creating a concussion-based education system for athletes, coaches, and officials. Working with Parachute, we designed a program which not only educates, but helps identify whether an athlete may have potentially suffered a concussion in competition and direct them to medical attention. Our program features a concussion guide for athletes, parents, coaches, and now referees, who not only at the national team level must understand the potential dangers facing them. When I say not only at the national team level, this also goes down to the provincial as well as grassroots. Athletes, coaches, referees, and parents must now, at the national level, sign off on the policy in their athlete agreements or individual agreements that they have with Taekwondo Canada. All must understand and expect our action plan to take effect. So changes within Taekwondo Canada. The athletes, parents, and coaches have been also provided with a concussion prevention toolkit, and this is in conjunction with our work with Parachute. This toolkit provides everything from identification, return to competition strategy to the frequently asked questions guide, which focuses on everything you can find out about concussions. Our provincial and territorial sport organizations have now been provided with this mandated information with the goal of ensuring that all athletes at the provincial and grassroots level must be aware of the dangers of concussion and what the next steps are. This has taken a bit of time for an overall buy-in, but it is happening. Reluctant, obviously, are the provinces to mandate this with their organizations, but we are seeing more and more people deciding they're going to come forward and jump on the boat with us in terms of concussion prevention. At our most recent national championships, 2 athletes were brought out of the ring by referees who believed them to have suffered a head injury. This has never happened before. The athletes, I will go off page here for a minute. The athletes were checked, were found to have both suffered concussions and both removed from play. Again, overall, the introduction of Taekwondo Canada's concussion protocol has been well received. The athletes, parents, and coaches more than ever understand that Taekwondo Canada has a duty of care to all to provide this to the membership from a safe sport point of view. As well, for those that are in administrative positions, insurance provider for Taekwondo Canada has also looked at this change in development of policies favorably in terms of our coverage we now receive. We've actually received better coverage knowing that we have a concussion policy suite in place. We believe that there's more work to be done, not only within Canada, but throughout the world to protect our athletes as best we can from concussions. We continue to lobby our international partners to get on side with us. If there are any questions, I'm happy to take them now.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Dave. You know what? Well done. It's so nice to see Taekwondo Canada leading the way on an international stage with regards to concussion prevention and management. That must feel pretty good.
Thank you. It does feel pretty good. And as an aside, this weekend we just completed our Canada Open, and a gold medal was actually decided on a disqualification from a concussion suffered during the event, where the referee actually stopped the fight. So it's happening more and more, and we're just happy to be part of doing our part to prevent it.
Well, that sounds great. Now, I'm curious, Dave, the resources you shared, are those available for other sport organizations to have a look at?
Absolutely. We're encouraging people to approach us and see what we can share with them to hope that we can reduce the level of concussion and educate people in terms of what a concussion is and how we can prevent it, or just educate people on what it is.
That sounds good. And that's the first step, right? The education. And if we can share the resources that are created by others, the sports sector will only get better and stronger for it, right? And our athletes will stay protected.
That's exactly right.
Now, question for you. Watching those pictures, Dave, of those incredible kicks to the head, has there been any discussion or consideration around rule change that could reduce the value of points to hits to the head?
No, in fact, the rules dictate that a kick to the head is worth more points than it is for a body blow. So this is this is a sport that goes back thousands of years, and it's going to take quite a while to get people in line with what concussion prevention really is. But we hope that even though it's baby steps, that we're taking us in the right direction.
Well, I guess, as you said, it's baby steps, right? We're at the very beginning here. Now, question for you with regards to the implementation at the provincial and territorial level. Were there any strategies that you found that helped improve the buy-in from the provinces and territories when it came to implementing the concussion education?
Ironically, one of the big ones was the insurance aspect. When we brought it forward to the provincial bodies and told them that, insurance really, there was a real positive gain from insurance premiums on, adopting this policy suite. We got a little bit more buy-in than we expected we would.
Okay, well, that's excellent. You know what, Dave? We're so happy you were able to join us today and share the great story of how Taekwondo Canada is leading the way when it comes to concussion awareness, management, and prevention. Again, thank you for sharing your stories. And also, for those of you who are curious to look at Taekwondo Canada's resources, please visit their website. And we'll also be putting a link on the circ.ca website, along with all the other symposium assets today. So thank you, Dave, for joining us.
My pleasure. It's great to be part of a wonderful event like this.